Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Koala,
And Bear.
and welcome back to another episode of Child of Light. So, in between episodes, I was actually showing Bear something, and whenever you leave a session and come back, all the enemies and everything respawn again. So just to clear the last couple enemies off screen, and I gained a level for each of the characters. So just to give you some sort of context, so you're not just like. So you're not just say, wait a second, what they do?
The fuck?
The fuck? So, yeah, so. Anyway. Go away, Peter. No one wants you.
Peter.
Peter.
Bear.
Actually does some pretty good Family Guy impressions.
Yeah. Now you put me on the spot, so now I just
But
might
now
screw it
you
up.
just absolutely terrible.
Yeah. That always happens, right? You're in front of people and you have X skill, and then either you or someone else introduces said skill, then you're expected to perform it, and then it puts you on the hot seat, and so,
It's usually the case is that like when someone puts you on the hot seat, right?
yeah.
Not only do you have the, like being put on the spot, but you also have the fact that you're nervous and the fact that like there's a certain expectation that is now held for you. So like
then you're like, oh no.
So yeah, exactly. So when they're expecting something out of you, you just become more nervous, and like their expectations are really high, and like essentially you're put in a situation where most likely you will not win.
Yeah. Impressions are one of those that's like hard to nail in general.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
As well. So, but
Yeah.
with practice, kind of like our friend Dominic. We have a friend that he loves to do English accents, especially when he's drunk.
Or
And,
hitting on girls.
or both.
Or both at the same time.
Yeah, and he does a really spot on. His one of his parents is English, so that's where he gets it from. I think it's funny.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty funny, cause then like he'll meet him, out of that context of where they were before, whether there's a party or club or whatever, and then he just drops the accent altogether and goes to a straight American accent. You're
Yeah.
like, what? Are you the same person I met before?
Yeah. No, going back to being in awkward or weird situations is that usually my problem is in certain situations, someone will be like, yeah, for example, like we were talking about last episode was Kendrick Lamar, right?
Right.
So you'll run into someone, they'll be like, yeah, I'm a huge Kendrick fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you'd be like, oh yeah, me too. And then they'll ask you, what's your favorite song, right? Yeah. For me, whenever someone asks me something like that,
right,
I just completely blank out. Like I can't remember. I could have just listened to their album like forward and backward, like just before that conversation, and I'll just blank out for a second. I'll just be like, wait, and then when you're in that situation, especially when you're first meeting someone, it looks bad and it makes you seem as if like you just heard them yesterday, or you're just pretending to know.
yeah. And then just subtly gets a little like kind of like that time. Remember, what's her name asked you about who you like from 30 Seconds to Mars?
Oh yeah.
It's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, same thing. So I actually ran into I met this girl, and I'm not gonna lie, I was trying to hit on her.
Yeah.
So, but my favorite.
We all knew that was the next thing that you were gonna say. Anyway,
I mean,
so it's okay.
just filling in.
Yeah, for reference.
Just in case you doubted.
Yeah.
So my favorite band is 30 Seconds to Mars. Like button if you agree.
Yeah.
No shame.
And if you don't agree, just like it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, whenever you find out someone likes one of your favorite bands, if not your favorite band, you're like, oh man, I automatically like this person. This person's automatically my friend, right?
Yeah.
So, when I found out, I was like, oh man, that's so cool. And this is one of the first times where someone actually quizzed me on how well I knew their work.
Yeah, further adding to this whole...
Because the thing is for some reason she didn't believe that I was a fan of theirs, because apparently she had some sort of experience where people weren't actually fans or something. So she was like, yeah, she started quizzing me. She's like, what's the name of their second album? What's in, and stuff like that. And then essentially just a barrage of questions, just like rapid fire, like bam, 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 right? And I had one of those moments where I just completely derped out and just went, wait, oh, shit. My favorite band too. Like I listen to them regularly on a regular basis, and just completely blanked out. And I just went like, wait, and then so then she's like, yeah, what's the name of their second album? Their second album is called A Beautiful Lie. And in the moment, I just couldn't remember it, right? But I could remember one of the songs.
Right. And
I ended up saying that song name as the album name. And then she had a moment of doubt. And then in that moment of doubt, I was like, in that moment of doubt, I remembered what it was called.
Clutch.
I was just like, bam, got it. Right? And I was like, I was just kidding. I just wanted to see if you knew.
Ooh, nice turnaround.
Yeah. So and then from there, I just had it like one after another after another. And then she's like, yeah, okay, cool, I trust you. But, just to give like sort of an afterword to the story. Essentially her cousin cock-blocked me.
Oh.
Without even realizing it.
That's right.
But, just to...
Unfortunate.
I mean...
All right, so you want to hear, okay, the story about how things can get awkward. Let's take the same scenario. Right?
Okay.
You kind of blank out, right? Now imagine you're blanking out
I'm gonna interrupt you because you kind of created that situation by that last story. So, in certain areas around the map, there will be a random kind of mini boss that is just a giant version of a normal enemy. Well, in this case, it is this guy.
Do we name?
No, this is the one that we forgot. Again, we'll put the
Flappy.
name. Was it Flappy?
No, I'm just if we have one, we'll go back to it. But if not, Flappy.
Yeah, this one we came up with a second name too, and I can't remember it.
I can't remember either.
Damn, we're really bad.
We're really bad at this. If you know it, please post in the comments.
We'll just put both names on the screen right now.
Yeah.
So anyway, continue with your story.
Okay, so you think it's bad that you blank out with band names, songs, etc.
Yeah.
Imagine you blank out when you're telling a joke.
Like you can't remember the punchline?
Yeah, no. So for instance, you're in a group, right? This happens in my family all the time.
Yeah.
I'd say something. Oh, it was so funny, right? And I'm like laughing, actually laughing before I tell it, and then wondering what it is. I'm like, oh yeah, this is a joke, right? And then I know the punchline.
Yeah.
Right. So I go headfirst into the joke, but then I miss the second sentence of context. And then you get stuck because then the joke won't make sense.
Yeah.
Right? Because let's say there's 3 sentences. You miss one of the sentences. The joke doesn't make sense anymore.
Yeah.
So that happens. I'll say it, go right headfirst into the joke, stop, and be like,
wait,
what was the? Oh, I can't remember the joke.
And you lost all.
And then you just my family's just brutal. They just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I feel you. No,
it's funny.
That's
but in the moment it's not.
Either that or you become overly excited about the story because it's really funny. It has some context with what's happening in that situation or whatever, and then you become so excited you either become long-winded or you babble or you tumble on your own words or whatever, and then you lose all of your momentum. And not only that, but you're laughing at something and the expectations are high, and then you don't deliver it well.
Exactly.
Or you realize halfway through the story that they might not know the person, and knowing the person is the pivotal part of the.
It's a total downward spiral.
Yeah, so it's just you end up having this gold nugget, and then upon further inspection, it's just a piece of shit in your hand.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you're like, hey, look at this piece of gold, and you're trying to hand it to them, and everyone looks at you like you're crazy.
Happens all the time to me. No, actually not all the time, but
it's happened enough.
It's kind of like confirmation bias, you see it
absolutely.
at the times and then you remember it, so those are the times that stick out.
Yeah, because you never remember the good. You never remember the times that are you get that zinger. You get that right hook, right in there, be like, bam, got him.
Kind of like we were talking about hosting the Emmys, right? So if everything goes well, right, it goes well.
At best,
right?
At best, it'll be like, yeah, they did a good job, but hosting any sort of event, really. Hosting any sort of event, you know, you do all right at best.
Yeah.
Either that or singing. If I was ever a singer, singing the national anthem would be the last thing I'd want to do.
Oh, that's rough.
Because the thing is that you either nail it and they say, yeah, you know, that was a good job, and you get an applause, which is the standard. Like, that's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
You know, that's that's the standard. But then if you don't hit it, oh man, like, I don't think Christina Aguilera has come back from that.
No. It's either, that happens, right? You don't come back from it, and then you end up as one of the blurbs on Facebook's right panel about trending.
Yeah, seriously, just trending. You become trending, and like you get pooped on for days, like, or years in some cases. Like, you know, I forget who it was. There's one person I remember seeing. You know, there's montages. Feel free to look up montages of, you know, national anthem fails. There's this one guy who, like, he had a mic stand, he had the mic on, he was singing like super passionately, and then in the middle of it, I forget what line it was. Like, he takes a long pause, and you know he's like holding a note, right? And as he's holding the note, he sticks one of his hands out that was holding the mic, and he looks at his hand as if he's written something on it, and like, you know, it's clearly he wrote
the lyrics,
the lyrics onto his hand, and then people realized and started booing him.
Oh,
and then there was also another girl I saw during I think it was like a minor league hockey game or something like that. She had to sing the national anthem. She was singing really well and everything, and and then in the middle of it, I think she had a mic in her ear, and either she claimed it was a technical difficulty or something like that, right? So as she had the mic in her ear, she just randomly stopped, and like because she started to sing, like, she was one verse ahead, right? So she stopped, and then she like turned around to look for some sort of confirmation, right? And then she just stopped singing, and then she tried to walk away, right? But the thing was, she was in the middle of an ice rink, and she just had normal shoes on. So as she walked away, she slipped and fell.
Wow.
So like,
that's rough.
So not only did she mess up, but she
really messed up.
She really messed up. But apparently afterwards she came back, and everyone kind of, like, you know, gave her a chance, and she came back and like nailed it. But like, you know, no one records a time where she nails it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, now she's just YouTube fodder for a good laugh. It's like, hey, look, I mean, like, right now, you know, I'm telling the story about how I watched this video of her failing. You know.
Yeah. Plus adding to the fodder.
Yeah, it's just adding to the fodder.
Man. That's tough.
Yeah.
That is really tough. I mean, you know, that's kind of like the definition of being clutch, right? Like, singing in itself is difficult.
Yeah,
right? And you gotta nail the note right as it comes out. And there's no redos, you know? There's no, like, hit start, go back to last checkpoint, redo.
Yeah.
You know, that's it.
There's no, like, hard booting and just, like, there's no none of that. So, you know, as we're talking, we entered into this town, and we opened up into the new chapter where, for some reason, there's no townspeople, and there's just a bunch of crows, and all the crows have different hairstyles and some of that. I always thought it was funny. You can go to all of them and talk to them, and they all just say "caw."
I just want to do a quick plug. All right, I played Monument Valley.
All right.
Just reminded me of that. Just a whole area just devoid of life except for crows, and they do the same thing. They just crow.
Can you talk to them and just do they caw at you?
Yeah, like if you run into them, they caw at you, and to give you some more information.
This one makes me laugh. It's like there's this guy. He's clearly defending this chest, and you're just like, "Caw, leave my shit alone, caw." You're like, all right, see ya.
But if you haven't checked it out, please do. It's for iOS and Android.
Please support the developers.
Yeah, it's a really great game. I bought the expansion pack because I beat the first 10 levels. You can beat the 10 levels in less than an hour, half an hour.
Oh, is that the whole game?
Yeah, it's really short. It's okay. So, and I was gonna say this, but it's a puzzle game.
By the way, a bunch of drunk crows. This one always made me laugh. He's so drunk he says "caw" backwards. Whack whack.
Leo. But yeah, no, it's a puzzle game for mobile, and it's a really well designed visually because it's based on on impossible objects, and also it's scored very well. So check that one out for more fun.
Cool. So we have a new guy who's crying on the streets. So he's amongst a bunch of crows. So you want to do?
Sure. You want me to? Yep.
Yeah.
I'll do that. Excuse me, sir. Have you the sun or moon within this well?
Hurrah, princess! You came.
Love that. Most certainly not. Can't you see?
I'm alone all again. My grandpa and every time I see that, it's usually Irish people. Whenever I see that, it just messes me up. Keeping the village safe from demise. I left a couple of days before to replenish our supplies. And zounds! The Dark Queen cursed my kin to birds. The water of leaf would cure 'em, and I have to make the journey down. But fear has...
Poor man. I got the easy lines.
Yeah, I mean, I got ire.
You know, when you know, of all times we needed our astronomy professor, you know, moment.
Man, that guy. Man, I wish I could pick up his accent.
First of all, astronomy is interesting.
Yeah.
So if any of you have the time to take astronomy, please do.
Yeah.
But our professor was awesome.
I mean, our professor was awesome. I mean, astronomy kind of lends itself to be really boring, and I can imagine that being like, you know, a really monotone guy who just clearly doesn't want to be there teaching it. But like our guy was, you know, a really energetic, fun Irishman. So like,
yeah,
you know, he just even if you didn't like astronomy, he injected fun into it, which was one of the few cases where a teacher actually made a course fun.
Yeah.
You know, so
that really helps a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I realized.
So essentially in the story, we have to go down this well and, you know, liberate the waters of Leaf.
Yeah,
so,
clearly we can't pronounce anything that's not like American
English. I can't English, so yeah. So we have to go down as well, and we're essentially gonna go down there. So.
Yep. You said you cast spells?
Aye, princess. I'm one of the best.
In the well, it will be put to the test.
Hurrah! Finn here.
Aurora, do not call me princess.
So now we got a new party member.
Ooh, Finn.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. So I guess on that note, because we're entering a new area, we'll end it here.
Yeah, we're also about time too, so good stopping place.
Yeah, good stopping place. But before topping off, because we came to a new area, after uploading every new area, I'll try to post a montage video of all of the me collecting all the collectibles, just so you know, in case you're going after them all or you wanted them all, you can just follow along and get them all. And I plan on at least getting them off screen, so you know, in case I have more items than I did during these recordings, like, you know, that's why. Is because I would go back and collect some of the stuff that I missed. Because if you go back to the inventory, or not the inventory, well, I guess since we're in this area we can't go to the map, but on the map it shows you where how many of all the items you have and everything. So you know, you can kind of keep track of everything and whatnot. So, yep. So I guess we'll just end it there.
Yep.
So,
Peace out.
Thanks everyone so much for watching. You know, stay tuned for the next episode, and see you guys next time. See ya.